You're on. Hi! We have a special guest today, my daughter Samantha. She's going to be helping me make a dough ornament for Grandma. Can you say Grandma? Oh wow, okay. The ingredients you're going to need are cornstarch, baking soda, water, Sharpie, bamboo stick, oh, and goldfish to bribe your kid. Before we continue, I do want to mention that there are lots of recipes that you'll find for salt dough. However, this recipe is slightly different since we'll only be using baking soda and cornstarch. We found this recipe on the blog called Tips from a Typical Mom, and you can check out her link below. This recipe calls for half a cup of cornstarch, 1 cup of baking soda, and 3/4 cups of water. You're going to put it in your saucepan and then heat it up on the stove until it has the smooth texture of mashed potatoes. Just don't eat them. Now that your dough is a nice thick consistency, you're going to dump it into a bowl to let it cool down. After you dump the dough into the bowl, you're going to either put a damp towel over it or you can use a plastic bag and let it cool down. Now that the dough has cooled off, we're ready to move on to the next step, which is kneading the dough. I don't have a silicone mat just lying around my house because I'm not a baker, so I'm just going to use a wax piece of paper taped onto my table surface. Ready, set, knead! Now that we're done kneading the dough, we're ready to move on to the next step, which is rolling it out. Again, I'm not a baker, so I don't have a rolling pin, but I do have PVC pipe. So I'm just going to roll it out, and Samantha's going to help me until it's about 1/4 of an inch thick. Now that I've rolled out my dough using my trusty PVC pipe, I'm going to cut out a circle using a vase which is slightly larger than the size of my daughter's hand. Now that the circle has been cut out, we're ready for our handprint. That's where my beautiful assistant will be helping me today. You ready, Sammy? Not that one, silly. This one. The next step is going to be to make a little hole so that you can hang your ornament once it's dry. So I'm just going to be using a chopstick. You can also use a bamboo skewer, anything, a straw to make that little hole. Now that we have our handprint and our little hole for the string, we're going to put it on the wax paper on top of the cookie sheet into the oven at 175 for about an hour, flipping over halfway. Ready to bake. The last step is to add string, wrap it up, and give it to Grandma. If you have time to try this project out with your own kids, I would love to see it. So please use hashtag #MakingFetchHappen. Also make sure that you follow us on YouTube and all of our social media outlets. So have a great